Hey everyone, it's Queen Jelly and welcome back to the Toy Box. And I want to give a big happy Holidays to everyone, no matter what you celebrate. I hope you enjoy throughout this season. Now for today's video, we are going to be doing an unboxing of a Monster High doll, one that just recently released. I'm not sure of the availability. I don't know if they sold out or not. I know they sold out for the Fan Club release, but it wasn't immediately because I didn't even know that this doll was releasing until I saw in one of my groups like, oh, if you have anything to say about today's release, here's where you post it. And I was like, today's release. So I went on there was availability still, and I went to go process it and I got distracted, and by the time I went back to actually get it, it was gone. No big deal. The next day was the actual release and I was able to get it on actual release day. So that's what I have in here. So I just want to make sure my address is covered. Here's our typical box. Obviously, of course, we're going to be opening the outer box as well. I also am going to be very, very honest with you. I don't know anything about this designer, which is part of why I wasn't like that super interested in this doll. And I was kind of on the fence, which is also part of why I missed the Fan Club drop, because I wasn't like super like intense need of this doll, because I don't really know anything about this designer. But I just really liked the design of this doll. I think they're really cute. I think they're really pretty. So I don't know, I just went for it. It was also only $75, which, yes, still a lot of money, still ridiculous prices. But considering as I expected it to be like $95, I'm okay with that. They really kind of, lately, I feel that they've really priced their dolls based on how popular they are. I really feel like the ones that are kind of, they know might not be super hits, they don't charge like an arm and a leg for, which I think is pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at them. Oh my goodness. They're so cute. The designer was asked, and I don't know if this is on anywhere official, but the designer was asked, and they do use they them pronouns for this doll. So that is what I'm going to be using for them. Of course, I may slip up, but that is the intention, is they them pronouns. So, but as you can see, there is the doll in the box. This is the Witch Weaver, which is part of why I just love this headpiece, and I think that that's kind of what drew me to them. They're also like really unique in that they have like pants on instead of like that traditional dress, and I don't know, I just think that they were a really unique design. And I think if this was kind of like I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but if they said like this is just a new character that we're introducing to Monster High, I think I would have also gotten them. So I kind of just ignored the fact that I didn't really know anything about the designer, and I went ahead and bought them. And like I said, I don't feel like they were super like sought after, a huge rush to get them. So I don't know, I just think that they're really pretty, and I can't wait to get them out of the box. So speaking of which, I'm gonna go ahead and move up to the desk. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you all in just a moment. Alright, so here we are up on the desk. Again, we have our Witch Weaver in front of us, Monster High Harris Reed. That is the original designer that this is based on. And I did look it up as of this filming of this video, which is December 3rd, 4th, somewhere in that. These are still available on Mattel Creations. So if you want to get them, they may still be available. As I said, they are a $75 price point. Here is the front, and then here is the back. A spellbinding collaboration between Monster High and visionary fashion designer Harris Reed. Exuding spellbinding style and darkly glamorous fashion, the Witch Weaver places a crystal spiderweb hat on their head. The ensuing ripple of magic stirs the fiery hair and illuminates their fingertips as they weave a glimmering web in the air. A benevolent spell that extends across the city and knits it together with threads of love and acceptance. Every monster touched by their gossamer spell feels free to be their true self. After all, this is what Witch understands, that true magic is self-expression, and that by empowering individuality, the world becomes a more fluid, beautiful place. And there is nothing more bewitching than that. as I was saying there, it does say there multiple times on the back because, as I was saying before, the pronouns for this doll are they, them. I just noticed the skelet design here around the window. I love because, like, obviously that's the prominent feature for this doll is this hat. So I love that even if you keep it in box, you can see all the beautiful details. I think that is so brilliant. Here on the side it says Harris Reed, and then on the side it says Monster High. And there's just a quick glance at the top of the box again. I will say that there is quite a texture to this box. It doesn't feel like smooth like they usually do. There's like this almost like, I don't know how to describe it, because like obviously we have these, like, all this in gold is embossed, so this part is like smooth, but it's a little like pushed in, if you can kind of see that, and then the rest kind of has this just very slight texture to it. Almost feels like soft sequins. I don't know how else to describe it, but yeah, it's really pretty. There's skelets here inside the lamps. So, but yeah, I'm really interested to see this doll in the box, especially and kind of compare it to some of the other humans that we have, because I'm already noticing that their hands are a little bit bigger. Like they feel a little bit thicker than like the traditional Monster High hands that are kind of like this really like skinny. These feel more human proportioned. So I'm very interested to see the proportions of this doll once they are out of the box. But also I just love all the details to this. Like I'm seeing all this like curtainy detail back here as well. Just very gorgeous. All right, now that I think we've appreciated the box, it's time to go ahead and get them out. Sorry, I had to finish off camera because I needed the space to be able to finagle without hopefully destroying too much of the box to get the hat and the stand out. But I was able to get them out. If you weren't able to see while I was doing it, the hat, the stand pieces were behind the curtains here. And then there's their certificate. I'm going to go ahead and just leave it on there. Certifies that your Monster High / Harris Reed Witch Weaver doll materialized through the collaborative efforts of designers and artists at Mattel. Okay, so I have them here out of the box, and this is a little bit of a take two for me. Apparently I said something that was very wrong, because to me it was new, but I found out that it was not actually something that's new, so I decided to just go ahead and start over because I didn't know how much I could salvage of that last part, so we're just gonna start over. And so I'm sorry if I say something weird, but I just want to show you that I do have their hat on their head. But what I did is I took a little rubber band and I pulled a little bit of their hair back into the rubber band, and then kind of used the rubber band to hold the claw clip on the back into the head, because on the back of the hat there is a little bit of a claw. So it is on there pretty sturdy right now, but as you can see, if I move it, it's still going to come off. But this is the hat. The hat does have this unique detail around the edge that I'm assuming, because it is featured multiple times on the doll, it has something to do with probably Harris's Reed logo or symbol of some kind. Again, I'm not familiar with this designer. I just really enjoyed this doll. And then, like I said, there's this little clip right here on the inside of the hat that kind of helps hold it onto the head. It's definitely meant to go on the very back of their head. It's not super sturdy, so it's definitely something where you kind of place it on and then don't touch them again to keep it in place. Now, again, as I was saying, that this doll is a little bit more of an androgynous character. So they have the feminine face sculpt, but then they are using a monster body from 2008, so they do have a more masculine body, and I think that that's a really cool way to kind of blend the two together. So this body is new to me. I've never had one like this before because I don't have any regular monsters. The only G1s that I have for comparison are the Frankenstein doll and the Jack Skellington, which both apparently have different body types than the traditional one. So I found out that this is the 2008, or at least that's what the copyright is on the back for this body. And it does have the larger feet with the ankle articulation as well, just like a male body. And then they have the more feminine face sculpt. Again, this is an androgynous they-them character, but I just, it's the easiest way to kind of explain the parts and pieces. This is a new sculpt for this doll. It does have 2004 in the on the back, but we'll go ahead and talk about this doll from top to bottom like we usually would now. So I'm gonna take this up so we can see them up close. Now, again, I did add this rubber band myself, otherwise this hair is how it came. It's all the way down with a little bit of kind of a crimp detail to them. They are a bright red hair, which I really love. There are several tones of red in here that kind of give it this really natural looking color. I very much just am in love with this hair color. This is part of why I bought this doll. I think the hair is just absolutely stunning. And then if we look at their face, they do have several face tattoos, or at least a face tattoo, and that the rest is kind of in their makeup. But they have this tattoo right over their eyebrow, which is this big spider web. And then they have a big one under this eye and a smallish one under this eye, and then a big one on top. So I really like that kind of asymmetrical look. I like that a lot. And they have green blue eyes with a little catch light in them, which are really cute. And then they have these earrings underneath, which again have that same kind of symbol, and then the skelet underneath, which I love that combining of the two. And then for their collar, it is a high neck collar here with that symbol again tied on like a bolo on the front. Now this top and waist and pants are all separate pieces here. So we have this puffy sleeve, so it kind of puffs here and then again at the middle and again around the cuff. So we have that on both sides. And then I believe they called this pattern Harley Quinn because of it being the diamonds rather than the squares for checkered, but it's kind of a checkered pattern. I really like this style for the top. I think it's really kind of feels unique. It feels kind of fresh to me. They have this kind of corseted piece here that's this silver pattern. Again, this is a separate piece and it has these ribbons that go over the top to hold it up. And then for their hands, they're really cool. They have these rings on them. So this is one solid piece that holds on their fingers, but it looks like each of their fingers has a ring on it. And they also have this really unique nail polish that has these just dots designs on their fingers, which I think is really unique. You will find the same thing on this side, that they have the dots patterns. Then they have a different set of rings though, which this one over here I believe is supposed to be a skelet, and then this is that logo again. But then they also have the spiderweb tattoo on their hand as well as on the back of their arm here, which I think is really nice details. I love the extra spider webs throughout the body. And then we have this really cool pants, which I know a lot of people like are kind of over this mermaid silhouette style where it's kind of small at the waist and then goes big at the bottom. But I really like how they did it on this one with them being the pants. So it's still like a unique way of doing it. Plus this right here, this elastic piece, it's only tacked on. So if you really don't like this big piece here, you can take it off and then you just have these like bell-bottom pants. They do have these embossed spider webs all along them, which I think is really cute. I love when they have these like small details that you kind of have to look closely in order to see. And then again, like I said, that mesh that starts at their knee and goes down to the bottom of their feet. And then the pants underneath have this split right here around the ankle height. And these boots are massive. I love these boots. So they start up here at mid calf and then go all the way down. And then they're actually quite heavy. I had them off of the doll earlier. So this right here is solid plastic and this here is solid plastic. So the foot is actually in this area here. And then this underneath is all extra height on this doll. They do have a spiderweb detail to them, as well as this kind of like rock style here. And then at the bottom, there's also spiderwebs with the skelet there in the middle. I know this was a bit of a simple review, but overall this is a bit of a simple doll. They are absolutely beautiful though, and a welcomed addition to my collection personally. They are currently standing on their own because those boots are so massive. They can just stand up, which that's really cool. And they're also towering over my other girlies there. This was kind of a sleeper hit for me, honestly. Like I said, haven't been getting too much from Mattel Creations. I just haven't been able to afford them lately. But I don't know, there was something about this doll that was just kind of calling to me. And I'm very glad that I went ahead and got them. They're very pretty. As of me filming this video, they are still available. So there is an opportunity to get them if you're interested. I do think they might be priced a little bit high compared to some other dolls, but they're also a little bit lower than some other dolls that we've seen. So it's kind of hit or miss with each of them. But personally, I love this doll, and I definitely see me taking them places, especially because they feel very like sturdy to me. I don't really feel like I have to worry about them too much other than like all this hair back here. But I usually keep my dolls like in a little baggie when I carry them around. I got it from the dollar store actually. It's just this little like pink plastic container that I kind of carry them around in, so they can still be seen, but they're still a little bit protected. They're not just thrown in with the rest of my stuff. But if I do take them anywhere, I'm probably not going to bring this hat unless I'm taking them for like a specific photo shoot. But I don't know, I'm again very happy with this doll. I am a little disappointed at Mattel Creations because somehow I set it all up for the payment plan. Everything was set to go, and like it was like, okay, yep, you've been approved, blah, 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 blah. And then I hit checkout and it charged my card directly instead of setting up the payment plan. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know if it was user error or website error, but either way, that doesn't really affect my like feelings on the doll, but I will just say that that is something that happened. But yeah, I hope that everyone who wants one gets one. And if you want to pass on this one, that is completely up to you. Again, it was kind of a little bit of a niche person for them to pick, but also I feel like a lot of their dolls lately have been a little bit more niche and not quite striking the same way as some of their other dolls. I just think some of their dolls lately have been missing the mark that we saw with like the original Skeletor dolls, with like the very classic movie monsters, where like people that aren't even in Monster High are really like interested in collecting them. And I think they're trying to get some more people from outside to get Monster High dolls, but they aren't really hitting the same way as some of those original Skeletor dolls. So I do hope that we continue to get new Skeletor dolls. I hope that these last couple of not like instant sellouts don't affect too much in the future, but I do hope that it makes them think a little bit more about what brands they want to work with. Again, I don't know anything about the designer, but this designer's like overall like look and feel really does mesh well with Monster High. Again, they're like very obviously pro like expression of self and everything like that, which is a very core thing about Monster High. So I do think that this was a good choice for the brand. I just don't know how much of a good choice it was as far as like notoriety, if that makes sense. But I do, like I said, hope that it doesn't affect too much our future collections, because I do want to see more like this in the future. So anyway, I know I've rambled on for a little bit, so thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you soon in the next one. Bye!